She is warning of a fourth COVID wave in the U.S. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
With the country averaging more than 60,000 cases of the coronavirus every day, the CDC director bluntly warning of another surge.
We have so much to look forward to, so much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now, I'm scared.
Hospital admissions up more than 10% across 17 states in the last week, and the numbers of death rising too.
Dozens of girls who arrived at the U.S. border unaccompanied by adults have now tested positive for COVID. They are being housed at an emergency intake shelter in San Diego. Day 2 of testimony in the trial of the ex-Minneapolis police officer accused of killing George Floyd last summer. Donald Williams was called to the stand as a witness. He says he watched as Floyd died under Derek Chauvin's knee that day.
The more you see Floyd fade away, slowly fade away, and like the fish in a bag, you've seen his eyes slowly, pale out and again slowly roll to the back of his eyes.
Williams is a trained mixed martial arts fighter, says he recognized that knee on that part of the neck as something called a blood choke. It was 40 years ago today President Ronald Reagan was shot. ABC's Andy Field looks back.
That stunning moment captured by news crews, a bullet ricocheted off President Reagan's limousine, striking him in the chest. Another gravely wounded and crippled his press secretary, Jim Brady, and a number of officers. The shooter, John Hinckley, wanted to impress actor Jodie Foster. The jury found him insane. He spent years in a mental institution. He's now free, working in a Virginia antique store. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
You're listening to ABC News.
Deep down, you knew it was coming, and you know there's nothing you can do to stop it. And now, it's here. Tax-Mageddon! Federal debt now exceeds the size of the entire economy, and Congress continues to spend like drunken sailors. Taxes are going up, and your retirement savings are going to be taxed to smithereens. But there's one proven time-tested strategy that lets you legally pay zero taxes on your hard-earned retirement money. And you can learn all about it in a free report from Bank on Yourself. Get it now at LegallyPayZeroTax.com. This strategy also grows your wealth safely and predictably every year, even when the market tanks. And it gives you penalty-free access to your savings. Yes, you can protect your money from the next stock market crash and from Tax-Mageddon. To get this free report and save your retirement, visit LegallyPayZeroTax.com today. That's LegallyPayZeroTax.com. LegallyPayZeroTax.com.
Torrential rains and flooding in Tennessee now blamed for at least 7 deaths. Nashville got more than 7 inches of rain in a matter of days. In South Dakota, not far from Mount Rushmore, wildfires have forced evacuations from about 400 homes. Governor Kristi Noem.
This is an incredibly fluid situation, that these winds are a major factor.
Wind gusts hitting 70 miles an hour. Leaders in China putting new limits on Hong Kong. Right now, half of Hong Kong's legislature is elected by the public, but under new rules, only 20 seats will be publicly elected. The rest will either be picked by special interest groups or an election committee. Arkansas lawmakers have approved a bill that would ban transitioning treatments for transgender children. Gender confirmation surgeries and hormone treatments would only be available to those over the age of 18. And a mobster on the run in Italy, undone by his cooking videos.
The member of the Calabrian and 'Ndrangheta crime group seemed to enjoy cooking while in hiding from authorities in the Dominican Republic for the past 5 years. An Italian judge ordered the arrest of Marc-Ferin Claude Biart for alleged drug trafficking 7 years ago when Biart fled. Italian media report he and his wife led a secluded life but posted videos of preparing Italian dishes. The videos didn't show their faces, but police recognized him anyway from his tattoos. He's now back in Italy facing trial. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
This is ABC News.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You know, folks are saying once you've used a Massey Ferguson, you won't ever want another tractor. They're tough, versatile, and dependable. And now with the change of season special at NC Tractor and Farm Supply, you'll be wise to get your special deal. Our tractors have been running in families for generations. Ask about the Phil Sheehan special going on right now. NC Tractor, 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Call 288-0395.
Our temperatures for today will head into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We are likely to see sunshine to start with a few clouds building in by the afternoon. It's going to be a beautiful spring-like day. Overnight will fall into the mid-50s with highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s for tomorrow. A strong cold front's going to move through and bring us the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late in the day on Wednesday. Some rain could linger into Thursday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We're starting out this morning on the outside with a little cool temperature, 38, but we'll be warming up nicely. It's about 68. Now let's look toward the weekend. That's the Easter weekend coming up. Good Friday is sunny with highs around 55, wind gusting to 10 miles per hour. Saturday mostly sunny, and then on Easter Sunday, mostly sunny with highs around 70. Perfect for Easter sunrise services. Then on Monday, sunny again with highs around 72. We got beautiful Easter weather. I'm glad of that. Are you? Nice day out here. Right now, again, 38 degrees. Thank you for tuning in. The morning wake-up call here on WCAB, the longest-running wake-up call in the foothills. Thank you for making it your radio station of choice. Now I have these death announcements. Shirley Hudson, 64 of Forest City, died Saturday, March 27th. A graveside service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Wednesday at the Golden Valley Missionary Methodist Church, Hunter Road Cemetery. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of those arrangements for Shirley Hudson of Forest City. Elvira Elaine Walford, age 94, died March 17th at Elmcroft of Hendersonville, North Carolina. A celebration of life will be held at Fairfield Mountains Chapel in Lake Lure at 2 o'clock Saturday, April 24th. Crow's Mortuary and Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements for Elvira Elaine Walford. Dave Kager Cox Sr., age 78, passed away Thursday, March 25th at his residence. A celebration of Dave's life will be held at 2 o'clock Sunday, April the 11th at the Marvin Stafford residence on 125 Henson Road, Forest City. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with those arrangements for Dave Kager Cox Sr. Perry Mashburn, age 74 of Columbus, passed away Friday, March 26th at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. A memorial service will be conducted at 4 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Perry Mashburn of Columbus. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB. Big sports week here on the radio with 2 football games this week, 2 high school football games. Thursday night, Bessemer City at Thomas Jefferson, 6 o'clock airtime and 6:30 kickoff. And we'll be carrying that game on Thursday night. Mr. Friday night and his team will be out there broadcasting for us. And then on Friday night, it's Chase at RS Central. That's a 6:30 countdown, 7 o'clock kickoff. That's 2 high school football games this week. And the Braves, well, they start on April 1st with the game against the Phillies. So that's 1:55 airtime, and we'll carry that game. And we'll be with the Braves. And the Braves are off on Friday, and they pick up with the Phillies again on Saturday and Sunday. And those Braves pocket schedules that we normally get in, they are not here yet. Many of you are beginning to ask about those. They are not here yet. I don't know because of the way the season's been and the COVID, if they're behind or what. But we will announce when we get those in, let you know so you can come by and pick up those Braves schedules. Last year was sort of a complicated year for them. They printed them, and then they had to postpone their season for a while. We'll see what's going to happen. But we will keep you posted. Stay tuned right here to the most sports for the foothills, WCAB in Rutherford. Rush Limbaugh Morning Update is next.
If there was ever an award for the most ironic news story, this could win it. The Washington Post recently reported on the problems illegal immigrants face after they've been deported back to Mexico. It's supposed to make you cry and make you mad. Some of the illegal immigrants that the Post chose to profile lived in America for decades. They are said to barely recognize the Mexico they were forced to return to. And there are other problems. Amalia Garcia, Mexico City's Labor Department secretary, complains that many of these people come not knowing how to speak Spanish. Not knowing the language of the country they're living in makes them feel very bitter, very ashamed, and very hurt. It does. Another problem for the newly arrived Mexicans is that their kids are having problems attending school. Apparently, the Mexican government puts up all sorts of roadblocks. For instance, transcripts of their grades in the U.S. must be in Espanol, and the red tape applying to school can take over a year to fix. But for many, the biggest problem is that the Mexican government isn't generous with public assistance, welfare benefits. There's no government-mandated bilingual help. There are no schools and few welfare benefits. And this is for people who are Mexican citizens, not illegal immigrants. So welcome home to Mexico, mi amigos.
Financial advisors. Remember when your job was fun? I'm Ron Kraszewski, CEO of Stifel, and at our firm, it still is fun. Here, you'll find the culture and values of the past, along with the technology and vision of the future. Stifel is a firm built by advisors for advisors, a place where you can better serve your clients and have some fun again in our business. Visit ChooseStifel.com to learn more about the investment firm you've been waiting for.
Since COVID, people are home with their pets more often, and I think now, especially with the shedding, they're more cognizant of what's going on and that it's an actual issue, and Dynovite has helped tremendously in our house with that.
I just heard the Dynovite commercial so many times that I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot, and I ordered it and tried it, and it worked.
The Dynovite, the being at home, working with them, they all love it.
Me and Chewy are together 24/7.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
DINOVITE.com.
Good morning. Good morning.
Your 2021 Atlanta Braves are ready to defend their division crown and take Atlanta baseball fans on another fun ride.
And it's hit in the air to right field and deep. Conforto going back at the wall. It's gone! Marcell Ozuna to the opposite field has tied the game in the ninth.
And join us as we bring you another exciting season of Atlanta Braves baseball right here on your home for the Braves. We are 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherford.
This is WCAB 100.9 FM and 590 AM, serving Rutherford and Polk counties.
The March 26, 1870 Stars and Stripes newspaper of Auburn, California, reported the story about a John Kelly who robbed the Myers jewelry store in San Francisco of several $1,000s worth of jewelry. There were no leads until a gentleman arrived from Los Angeles wearing one of the stolen pieces of jewelry. He said he had purchased it from a man named John Kelly. John Kelly was found in Prescott, Arizona, with much of the jewelry. Before he could be tried, he escaped to Santa Rita Mine, Arizona, where he was employed as a blacksmith until he got in a knife altercation, that is. From there, he went to Tubac, Arizona, where he killed a man, and because the sympathies of the citizens were with the murdered man, Kelly thought it was necessary to leave that part of the country to escape the lynch law. Continuing south, Kelly went to Chihuahua, Mexico. On the way, Kelly casually killed his traveling companion. By now, Kelly had acquired the name Arizona Ruffian. Moving on to El Paso del Norte, the Arizona Ruffian killed a family of 4. This is where John Kelly's adventures ended. It seems a group of men captured John, took him some distance from the city, and according to the newspaper, tied one end of a rope to a limb of a tree and to the other end tied Kelly by the heels so that his head hung within a few feet from the ground. They then built a slow fire under him and allowed him to remain suspended until death put an end to his existence. In other words, John Kelly surely got his in spades. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. This is Dakota Livesay.
All righty then, terrific Tuesday morning it is, 7:15. Time for us to get informed, find out what's been going on while we slept around the neighborhood in the past 24 hours or so. And we're checking in now with Sheriff Chris Francis to give us that update. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
I am well. I hope you are, Jim.
I am excited about this week's weather. It's going to be a nice weekend. Easter
Looking
weekend's
forward
going to
to
be
it.
a good one.
I believe spring is here.
I believe it is. Tell us what's been going on in your department.
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 164 calls of service. There have been 9 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 139. Among those arrested, Andrew Jacob Powell, 34-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Brandon Scott Williams, 29-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with driving while license revoked and fictitious tag, received a $1,000 secured bond. Alex Arnold Owens, 21-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with injury to property and received a $1,000 unsecured bond. Morgan Elizabeth Bostic, 22-year-old female out of Mooresboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Among our incidents, we had damage to property on Boston Sunshine Road. Someone had kicked the victim's door of his passenger door of his Ford Focus, causing damage in the amount of $450 because of the dent. We also had a larceny on Short Road in Ellenboro where a black and yellow Pittsburgh Steelers football team logoed mailbox and post were taken, valued at $150. And we had a breaking and entering and larceny to an outbuilding on US 64 in Roten where a 7-inch Craftsman side grinder, a 4.5-inch DeWalt side grinder, a handheld Hibachi planter, a Harley-Davidson battery charger, as well as a double-burner propane gas heater with cylinder, and a patch-load nail gun and engraving tool were all taken in that instant. We had a larceny of a dog on Rock Road in Robeson. A known suspect took the victim's pit bull and border collie mix, valued at $100, during an argument that they were having. And we had a B&E and larceny to a storage unit. It was on Boston Sunshine Highway, where a left-handed recurve bow inside of a camo case valued at $150 was taken. And Jim, that's what we had to report.
All right, Sheriff, thank you very much. I want to ask you a question. Did you receive any information, any calls from anybody over the weekend about a strange, mysterious blue fireball light over Sunday night?
I personally have not heard that. When was that again?
Supposedly Sunday night, somebody was coming down Green Street to Kiwanis Park, and as soon as they turned onto Green Street, they saw it streak across the sky. It looked like it landed in the Spindale, Forest City area, and said there had been several accounts all week last week from Pennsylvania to Florida. And this person sent me a picture of what it looked like, so I didn't know if anybody had reported seeing that or not, or if what the deal was with that.
Well, I will certainly inquire. That's very interesting.
Yeah, you know what strange things happen around April Fool's Day anyway. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
All right, sir. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you being on with us, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Sir Chris Francis reporting in this morning. It is interesting. I don't know. If you saw it, we'd love to know about it. It supposedly happened Sunday night, and we'll see if what's going on. All right, 19 minutes after 7.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Here's Tina now with 911 Communications Center with our report today. Tina, good morning.
Good morning. In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 488 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 45 for emergency medical services, 24 for rescue, 164 for the Sheriff's Office, 77 for Forest City, 2 for Lake Lure, 38 for Rutherford, 52 for Spindale. And under fire calls, we had Green Hill with a residential fire alarm. We had Spindale respond to a motor vehicle accident. We also had Spindale respond to an industrial fire alarm. We had Sandy Mush respond to a vehicle fire. We also had Sandy Mush respond to a motor vehicle accident. And that's all we had.
Thanks so much. You have a great day now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers of Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. They continue to strive hard to keep that honor. Come on in and see for yourself. Take a look at the all-new design 2021 F-150 or reserve an all-new 2021 Bronco coming in the spring. Don't miss out on the automobile you've been wanting at the Sisk Family Ford price. Take your pick while the picking is good on Oak Street in Forest City.
We've been talking about the horse that had been killed recently, and there is a reward now out, and the reward offered for information about the shooting death of that horse has generated promising leads that suggest the killer was a juvenile. Investigator Tony Wineski of Poacher Strike Force of Nashville said, "We feel strongly it's neighborhood kids. Around the time of the incident, someone had been firing a weapon." Wineski said it's obvious the shooter had both familiarity with the area and the horse. He also suggested the shooting could have been the result of a prank, a dare, or kids feeling a sense of entitlement. He dismissed the notion of occult or demonic rituals being behind the shooting. It doesn't have that flow, Wineski said. He also indicated similar shootings occurred in the area previously, including as long as a year ago. Wineski added those cases involved youths armed with rifles. That investigation continues, and anyone with information on the killing of Black Jack is urged to call the Poacher Strike Force tip line, 877-773-8477. Here's Ruby Taylor now with a report from Danieltown SDO. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What is on your report?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday calendar, I got Joyce Mosley, James Fulton, Madison Mara, and John Carlisle having birthdays. Hope they have a nice day. Sandra and the Secrets today and tomorrow, Jim. That's all I got.
Ruby, I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
All right, Gary Wilson is up next. He's up in the Fairfield Mountains Fire District, Bills Creek community with our Tuesday morning report. Gary, good morning.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
I tell you what, it looks pretty out there this morning. A little chilly, but clear skies, and gonna have a lot of sunshine today, looks like.
I know a man can do just about anything he wants to outdoors today, can he?
Yeah, he could. It's about, we're sitting on about 37, 38 degrees up here this morning. Got on up in the 60s yesterday, and should do about the same thing again today. And looks like a pretty good chance of rain and thunderstorms tomorrow, but then clear sailing after that, if you can trust the long range forecast.
Yeah.
But that'll be good.
Well,
Going a little chillier toward the weekend, but it's still early yet. We got plenty of time for more frost and everything.
Yeah.
Don't get too big a hurry planting your garden yet.
A little bit early for tomato plants, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'll hold off on them a little while. They're pretty tender.
Yeah.
But we've had no calls the last 24 hours. Everything going on pretty peaceful up here. Expecting a lot of people in for Easter, so things will probably ramp up then. But hope everybody have a safe Easter wherever they spend it at. enjoy some time with their family.
Yeah, with a little jacket on, Easter Sunday morning services should be just nice with that weather.
Should be just right. It
Yeah.
sure should.
All right, Gary.
That's about it up here.
Thanks so much. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford-Ton.
Mr. Bob Hodge is up next. He's over in the Hudlow Fire District with this report this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good Tuesday morning.
How you feeling?
Well, doing just fine up here this morning.
Good.
That sun's coming up bright out here this morning. Look, that's going to be another nice day before it rains again. So.
Yep. We get some more rain coming in.
That's right. Some cooler weather, but it'll warm back up pretty fast.
Seems like we always get a little cool stuff right about Easter time, don't we?
That's right. We always have a little cooler weather right Easter there, so
yeah.
And Jim, up here with the fire department, we've answered one medical call, and then I had a vehicle accident call on Old Ballpark Road. I want to say happy birthday to Kevin McAbee this morning. And Jim, that's about it up here. So far, things are pretty quiet this morning, and maybe it'll stay that way, and we'll all have a good day, and I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, Bob. You can go back and take your nap now. Go lay down a while.
All right.
I'll see you now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bob Hodge reporting in this morning from the Hudlow Fire District, 27 past the hour, and we are 38 degrees.
Good morning. These are your headlines. Market declines, unemployment, oil prices. These can be pretty scary. Hi, I'm your Edward Jones financial advisor, Andrew Tisdale. And I'll work with you to help you understand the impact of these just short-term events and how it's not going to affect your long-term goals. We can provide the tools and the reasoned, disciplined approach on how to invest. So please, don't let these headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. Call us today, 828-287-9197. Our office is located in the Food Line Plaza in Rutherford. This was Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, and a member of the SIPC. Bye.
And you can catch Andrew Tisdale this morning at 8:05, making sense of your finances for a few minutes, talking to us about being smart with our dollars and cents. That's this morning at 8:05 right here. Now let's head over toward the Cherry Mountain Fire District. That's where Sue Price is, and see what kind of news she's got for us today. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How are you?
I'm doing good. We had our second shot yesterday, and so far we're both okay.
Good. Well, I'm glad.
Went
Arms a little bit sore, but that's about it, right?
That's it.
Yep, that's what everybody's saying.
I'm glad. Well, let's see. I don't have any calls from the fire department. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar or my personal calendar for today. So, let's see. First Broad's got a birthday for Lee Brackett, and Fairview has birthdays for Landon Smith and Kaylin Herman. So, hope those folks will all have a good birthday, and we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day. And in my announcements, there'll be a blood drive April the 12th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Golden Valley Community Club. So make plans for that. And Duncans Creek Presbyterian Church will be having a sunrise Easter service starting at 7 o'clock. And so far, that's the only announcements I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
So what did they tell you after the second shot? Just give yourself a couple of days and you can get out and go about?
Well, they didn't really tell us anything. Just
As long as you feel good after that second shot, you should be able to get out and mingle, right?
yeah.
Good.
Should be able to.
Good.
Hope so, anyway.
Well, I know you're anxious to get out.
There's a lot of people there getting shots yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that line. They were really lined up, but
yeah. And they had a lot of workers, and they were really doing a good job. So.
Yeah, our hats off to those health people over there that do all those shots every day. They give hundreds of them every day. Well, listen, go ahead.
They do a good job. They're real friendly and nice. So we had glad to get it over with.
Well, listen, you have a great day and enjoy yourself, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's what we said. If anybody's going to stick a needle in my arm, they need to smile at me while they're doing it.
It's great to get discounts on beautiful furniture, and thanks to the Recliner Center, you can get 10% off everything in the store. 10% off lift chairs, 10% off sofas, 10% off recliners, 10% off bedding. Angela has changed her hours to suit your schedule. The Recliner Center is now open Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4, and Saturdays, 9 to 2. And, of course, you can make an appointment by calling 828-395-3562. Come by soon and pick out the recliner, sofa, or lift chair that best suits you and get 10% off your purchase. Come by and see Angela Cooper at the Recliner Center today. The Recliner Center is on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
Your 2021 Atlanta Braves are ready to defend their division crown and take Atlanta baseball fans on another fun ride.
And it's hit in the air to right field and deep. Conforto going back at the wall. It's gone! Marcell Ozuna to the opposite field has tied the game of the ninth.
And join us as we bring you another exciting season of Atlanta Braves baseball right here on your home for the Braves. We are 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB Rutherford.
Now let's check in over the Drop-In Family Mart there in Boston. Dean's on the phone with me today. Dean, how you doing?
Fine. How you doing, Jim?
Doing great. Loving this beautiful morning, aren't you?
A little cool, but yes, sir.
Good. Tell us what you got going on over there.
Okay, just going to have fish for lunch today and baked beans, and she's got biscuits on now and eggs and bacon. Coffee's already brewed, ready to go. Liver mush, bologna. In the meat department, we have ground chuck on special. So come on by and check out our specials, and we'll be more than happy to help everybody.
Well, you guys over there have extremely good personal service, and if folks can't get out of the car, you can bring the groceries out to the car to them, can't you?
Yes, sir. We'll do whatever they want.
Good. I like that. Well, keep up the good work over there, and keep working hard and saving you money, and we'll go places.
Okay, and tell everybody tomorrow's going to be meatloaf day, so come on by and get some meatloaf, and I think it's meatloaf and broccoli, which they're going to have tomorrow. They've been bragging on it, so they need to come by and get a little taste.
That sounds good. I love it. All right, Dean.
Okay, Jim.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Dean over at the Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic, the Bostic Sunshine Highway, right across from the post office there. You can't miss them. You can smell the bacon cooking. Go in over there and have breakfast this morning.
This is WCAB 100.9 FM and 590 AM, serving Rutherford and Polk counties.
Wouldn't it be nice to get medical attention and not have to leave your home? Now you can, thanks to Remote MD. Remote MD is pleased to announce they have initiated a telemedicine program for residents in North Carolina. The telemedicine program is available to all residents in North Carolina, including Rutherford and Polk counties. It is designed to treat common medical illnesses right from your home. Now, isn't that great? No appointment is necessary, no waiting for days to see someone. This is a wonderful opportunity for people who are struggling financially or have a complicated insurance plan. But your health is important to you, and you want attention now. There are no copays or deductible, and unlimited usage programs start at just $59.99 a month. Learn more about this program. Contact Remote MD today at www.remotemd.net. Again, that's www.remotemd.net. Now let's say good morning to Tina up at Shingle Hollow. Good morning, Tina, up at Shingle Hollow.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning. It's a much better morning this morning.
You sound like you feel better.
Well, I felt bad. I apologize yesterday morning. I I ate something the night before that didn't agree with me, and I was sick up all night with it. But praise God, I feel good today, and it is a beautiful morning.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'd hate for you to have to take a couple of aspirins and call me tomorrow.
I should have said that yesterday, but I thought, well, I thought I felt okay, but then as I was talking, I thought, oh no, I'm going to be sick again. But here I am, and I'm glad it wasn't a stomach bug, because I've heard people talking about this terrible stomach bug that's going around.
It is going around. It's been going around, yeah, big time.
Yeah. Well, it's 40 degrees on my front porch up here in Shingle Hollow. Beautiful sky, beautiful trees. Pollens are high. Shingle Hollow Fire Department had a medical assist, and Green Hill had a smoke alarm yesterday. They said that they were a little busy. And for the announcements, Piney Knob has Easter sunrise service scheduled for 7 o'clock in the morning. And Shingle Hollow Fire Department, they sent me something, and I'm trying to find it. Okay. They're going to have a medical responder class at the fire department, and anyone who might be interested in that is to call Amanda Watson, and the number is 287-4732. And it's supposed to start in May and end in August, and there'll be 96 hours that include 60 hours of didactic and 36 hours of skills, exams, tests, etc. So, sounds like that'd be a good opportunity for people if they're interested in that.
Well, this day and time, it'd be important to have that kind of skills behind you, with you. It's a good jobs in the health profession right now, too.
Oh, yes. There's job security in healthcare. If it don't all turn to nurses on a stick, and I can see them having robots going out for medical emergencies, can't you?
Oh, I tell you, I would hate to see that happen, but you're probably right.
I hope I'm not right. I hope I'm just being sarcastic, but we see so many jobs eliminated for technology.
Yep. The grocery stores and the drugstores are now putting in these automatic checkout machines. I know it eliminates jobs when they do that. It's convenient for some folks and get you out any quicker. But it sort of bothers me that we're having to manually check ourselves out and knowing that somebody probably could use a job.
Yes, and that personal interaction, the social ability to interact with someone at the meat market if you're at the grocery store, or if you're going to the pharmacy. I have a great pharmacist. I'll have to say she is at Medicine Box at Rutherford.
Oh,
yeah. And there's that personal interaction between every person that works there. And, if you got the big stores, you don't have that.
Yeah. You're right. I like Medicine Box at Rutherford. They're customer service for sure.
Oh, I love them. They have helped me many times through patient care and through myself. And there's just something about that personal interaction.
I agree.
Between. Mm-hmm.
And I love hometown, locally owned businesses too.
Yes.
I like to
knowing that we are helping somebody that's, and I know in a busy, convenient life, oh yeah, I can run through there and just check out myself. I understand that people want that, but they're missing so much.
Yep.
Okay, I'll quit preaching.
we're on our soapbox this morning.
Oh, well, did I even say birthdays? Mr. Ricky McIntyre has a birthday today from the Piney Knob calendar, and nobody is on Pleasant Grove, but I hope Ricky has a wonderful birthday, celebrates big, and I hope to talk to you in the morning.
Tina, you have a great day. Continue to improve and get well.
Thank you. God bless you.
That's Tina White there in the Shingle Hollow Fire District, 7:39 now. We're heading up to Union Mills next.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, I know sometimes you feel like you got to go out of town, and I know that we need to refresh our vision sometimes. Just drive out of town and eat or do some shopping. But anytime you can shop at home, I really wish you would, because it supports local business, supports local jobs, and one of those local businesses that's owned and operated is Joyce Bridal. Joy's been in this for 28 years, and she knows how important big events are and to you, and she's happy to help you. And she's not happy about it until you're happy. Go see Joy at Joy's Bridal. I'm so impressed with the inventory she has over there, dresses and outfits for ladies, for brides, and for the bride attendants, for men, for the groomsmen, or just because you just want to dress something nice. A lot of jewelry, too, that you should check out. Why don't you make a trip to Joy's Bridal there in the Tri-City Mall? Joy's Bridal is open 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 4:30 on Saturdays. You'll be glad you shopped at home and supported the local home front, and glad you to rediscover Joy's Bridal in the Tri-City Mall. Now we are going up to Union Mills, and Brenda Kelly, top of the day to you.
Top of the day to you, Mr. Bishop, on this terrific Tuesday. How are you?
Well, fantastic. I love it.
I'm telling you.
Love to be alive.
You said somebody asked you about that light in the sky?
Yes.
My grandson saw it.
Did he really?
Yep. He come in. He loves to look up in the sky. He does that all the time. He's fascinated by all kind of stuff like that. He come in. He said, "Nanny, I just seen a bright light with a long tail to it, with sort of a green colored, but it was bright." And he said, "Looked like it landed over Sunshine Golden Valley."
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead.
He said, "Have you heard anything was in the sky?" I said, "No, I ain't heard nothing."
Well, that's the third report I've had. Somebody said they thought it looked like it landed in the Spindale Forest City area, but it would depend on how you see it. Probably up in the Shingle Hollow area. He said Shingle Hollow.
No, he said it looked like it was over toward Golden Valley or Sunshine. Yeah.
Well, I have a picture of it, and there is a green tint to it, bright light, and with a green glow around it. So what he saw maybe be what some others saw.
And so, looking off my back porch, just standing out there in the backyard, out from the back porch, Golden Valley, Sunshine would be to the left of us, because we live in between 221 and 64, almost in McDowell County. So that would be, and it could have easily have been toward Forest City or whatever.
Yeah. What night did he see this?
Sunday night at 25 minutes after 8.
Yeah, well, Sunday night was when they said they saw it.
He come in, he said, "It's 25 minutes after 8, and I just saw that light." I thought, my goodness.
Someone looked it up, said the photo was that they sent me was from a sighting in Australia last year, but exactly what I saw. She said it started out small, but as it streaked across the sky, it became large with a streaking tail. It was blue in color that changed to bright white. Then, as it appeared to drop down in Spindale, large burst of orange. Incredible.
He said it had little David said it had a long tail to it.
My goodness.
Yeah, he wanted to know if it was supposed to be a meteorite shower. I said, I hadn't heard of it. I don't know. Yeah. He said he was waiting to see if he could hear a big boom.
Well, I've been kind of waiting to see if I've seen little green men walking up the street here.
Oh, my goodness. But anyways, so at least I know that he wasn't exaggerating.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because I was beginning to, and this person who sent this to me a friend had told her that they saw it, so that's the third person now that's commented on it. So we'll see how many other folks might have seen it.
That's right. Well, we hope everybody's having a good morning. Let's see, I've got 36 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries. And in ways of announcements,
Far City Church of the Nazarene will have Easter sunrise service at 7:30 a.m. Easter morning. Breakfast to follow, Sunday school at 9:45, and worship at 10:45, and everyone's welcome. And other than that, I don't have nothing. You better go check on Gilligan.
I will do that. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you and watch the skies.
Okay, catch you later.
I'll see you. Bye-bye. Brenda Kelly reporting out of Union Mills. Now, Ellenboro is our next stop.
This is Gilbert. If you owe the IRS past due taxes, don't call those toll-free national numbers. Local, affordable help is right here in Rutherford County. Stop garnishments, levies, and liens. Call Gilbert Carmona at 828-289-9300. All initial consultations are free. Call Gilbert, 828-289-9300.
McCurry Deck Motors has been providing an impressive selection of automobiles for over 50 years. At McCurry Deck, you can browse the great selection of GMC automobiles and drive away in one knowing you have gotten the best deal possible. The team at McCurry Deck Motors counts it a privilege to make you a happy and satisfied customer. Why not test drive one of the comfortable and stylish GMCs today? At GMC, we are professional grade. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of GMC, Chevy, and Buick. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. Now let's get Mr. Gilligan's report from Ellenboro. Luther, Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning, you two. Nice morning down here.
Cool, but nice.
It's just a little nippy. We're here watching the sun come up, drinking coffee.
Ain't life good.
Good start of the day.
Ain't life good.
It is good. Starting off the day right. But it's quiet there and that's going on. Everybody just getting their gas and their biscuits and moving on out to work. See, the fire department had one call, medical call yesterday. Other than that, they quiet. That's from last night. So we're peaceful down here. So you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Luther, thanks so much. I'll see you.
I want to take care now.
Bye. That's Luther Gilligan reporting this morning out of Ellenboro and leaving us time for birthdays and anniversaries at 287-3356, 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries. We'll give you a big shout out and help you celebrate on this March 30th birthday. March 30th. We have one more day to go this month, March 30th. So call them in to us now at 287-3356. And if you happen to have seen the streak in the sky Sunday night, call us and let us know that as well. We got guests coming in a little after 8 today. Hang around with us.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday for somebody somewhere out there in Radio Land. Although none were called in. We do not have any birthdays to report this morning, neither earlier nor at this time. So if you are celebrating birthdays, just didn't want to call it in, change it. We'll get to birthdays here again tomorrow. Now, one of these days, when things continually completely open up, hopefully Granny B's will let us get back into the donut giving business. We always love to give those donuts from Granny B's because they do such a great job over there with their donuts, Daylight Donuts, and your Petitfours, and great sub for lunch. It's a great place to have lunch. Coffee over there this morning with a donut. Granny B's, they're in Spindale. You should try them out if you've never. Take a bag of donuts to work with you. Coming up in just a moment, Keys to Confident Living, 8:05 this morning. Andrew Tisdale will be here, and Mr. Chamber of Commerce should step in the door as well today.
17-year-old Michael stood on the edge of a hotel roof ready to leap to his death. He felt no one cared. His father had frequently beaten him, and his mother had lost track of him, having lost a custody battle. Just seconds from ending it all, he heard a voice from the ground below saying, "Somebody cares. I'd be proud to have a son like you." The voice was that of William Fox, a New York police officer. Fox's caring and compassionate words were the turning point in Michael's life. He decided not to jump. The policeman became Michael's guardian and took him into his home. The news story of Michael's adoption was the information Michael's mother needed to finally locate her son. The custody battle 15 years earlier had shattered her dream, but not her love for her son. For the rest of his years at home, Michael found a new life with his mother and stepfather in Texas. A voice of sincerity and the fulfilled commitment of a police officer averted a terrible tragedy and brought beauty out of ashes. You may have opportunity to be like the police officer, or you may feel like Michael, ready to give up. Jesus said, "If you are burdened with a lot of care, come to me, and I will give you rest." Now, whether you need to hear those words, or you have opportunity to give them to someone today, those words are good news. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Your 2021 Atlanta Braves are ready to defend their division crown and take Atlanta baseball fans on another fun ride.
And it's hit in the air to right field and deep. Conforto going back at the wall. It's gone! Marcell Ozuna to the opposite field has tied the game in the ninth.
And join us as we bring you another exciting season of Atlanta Braves baseball right here on your home for the Braves. We are 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB Rutherford.
This is WCAB 100.9 FM and 590 AM, serving Rutherford and Polk counties.
WCAB.
So I'm asking you to just hold on a little longer, to get vaccinated when you can.
Some hotels are betting Americans will travel anyway, some covering the additional cost if you have to extend your stay if you test positive on vacation.
President Biden today signing into law an extension of the Paycheck Protection Program, the government's assistance to small businesses during the pandemic.
The program was set to expire on Wednesday, but Congress passed legislation to extend the application deadline to May 31st and give an additional 30-day period for the Small Business Administration to process applications that are pending. The $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package the president signed into law this month included an additional $7.25 billion for PPP.
ABC's Karen Travers in Washington. More states opening up vaccine eligibility, including Texas. Anybody over age 16 can get a shot there. You're listening to ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
A Michigan judge has ordered 3 more men to stand trial in that alleged plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. 6 are already facing federal charges. Driving around's getting a little less expensive.
For the first time since November of last year, the national gas price average has decreased week over week. The average now $2.85 a gallon, about a cent cheaper than the week before. This according to data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Some states, though, saw a slight increase, including California and Ohio. Lionel Moyes, ABC News.
Florida's governor's pushing back against the idea of a so-called vaccine passport.
We are not going to have you provide proof of this just to be able to live your life normally.
Governor Ron DeSantis speaking at the state capitol in Tallahassee Monday after the Biden administration said it's working on a system that would let people prove they've been vaccinated.
I'm going to be taking some action in an executive function, emergency function here very shortly.
DeSantis said his executive action would prevent businesses in the state from requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccination for entry. Tony Marino, ABC News, Orlando, Florida.
Japan's famous cherry blossoms are blooming again earlier than ever. They used to reach peak bloom in April. This year was March 26th. That's the earliest on record. An official at the Japan Meteorological Agency says the reason almost certainly is climate change. This is ABC News.
The border is in crisis. President Trump secured the border, but Biden is spending $86 million on hotel rooms for migrants. Now, Grant Stinchfield investigates Biden's executive orders and dangerous policies. Watch Stinchfield on Newsmax TV tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern as he reveals the dangers. Find Newsmax TV on all major cable systems or get it free on Roku, YouTube, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Help protect our border. Watch Newsmax TV's Stinchfield tonight.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We're tracking another cold front that's going to move in and bring us the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late Wednesday into Thursday. Otherwise, we are going to see lovely conditions for today, and it's going to be a pleasant spring-like afternoon with highs heading into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Overnight, we'll fall into the mid-50s with temperatures in the upper 60s and mid-70s tomorrow. Expect clearing by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Beautiful day here in the neighborhood, 39 degrees, warming up nicely today to about 68 degrees. Everybody wondering about the weekend, Easter weekend. Well, you couldn't ask for a better one. It's a Chamber of Commerce kind of weekend. Friday, sunny with highs around 55. Saturday, 62 and mostly sunny. And Easter Sunday morning, around 70 and light wind, mostly sunny on Easter Sunday. Now, the breeze is going to be a little bit chilly on Friday and Saturday, gusting to about 10 miles per hour both days. Sunday, light wind, so it won't be too bad out there as you go to your Easter sunrise services, so make your plans accordingly. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, Andrew Tisdale's in the Blue Room with me, and we'll get to him in just a moment.
Get the most out of your tax refund with Bark Mobile's Refund Rack-Up event. Come in this tax season and get a great smartphone at a price you can't beat. Absolutely free. That's right. Get the popular LG Stylo 6 or LG K51 for free when you switch to Bark Mobile. Then rack up even more savings with unlimited data for $45 a month with AutoPay and take your tax refund to the max. Visit a store today to get the most with Bark Mobile. Mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
All right, it's time now for us to talk to Mr. Andrew Tisdale here in the Blue Room and see what he's all about this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. If it wasn't for
Really?
Yeah.
Whose birthday is today?
It's my dad's birthday, not mine, but it's my dad's birthday. If he didn't have a birthday, I wouldn't be here.
That's good logic.
That's right.
It must be something down that tree, that Tisdale tree. Your grandfather had a lot of logic to him as well. And your dad does?
Well, they're both, just like we was just talking, no hair, because brains and hair don't mix. And I'm losing a few every day, so that makes me feel better about why, or think about it anyway.
Well, I'm glad you're here in spite of it.
I am too. Now, if I could have hair like you and still have the brains like you, that's what's amazing.
I don't know about that. I don't know about the brains part. The hair I've got, but I don't know about the brains part. What you got on your mind today?
If you're planning to retire in just a few years, or if you're really nervous about the state of the market or what you should do, you may be getting either excited or worried. Both of them are emotions, and we have to put these in perspective. So how much risk should I take? Well, let's think about that. What is risk? Risk is saying, if I do this, if I have this, what's the chances I'm going to affect this? Your relationship with risk can change over time. When you started saving for retirement, we may have been willing to take on more of risk because I had more time, which translated into a very high percentage of stocks and really aggressive and international investments. And as we all know, stocks can offer the best potential for greater returns instead of bonds or CDs, but they are a lot more volatile, so they carry a lot more risk. So what do you mean a stock risk? If they're going to grow higher, what's the risk? Well, the risk may be they may fall today, and I need that money today, so I don't have as much as I had yesterday. So am I willing to wait for it to recover and go higher? So let's fast forward. What about today? What should I do today? Well, should I put all of my money in CDs? Look at the rates. If I put all my money in CDs and I don't take any out, let's just say I got $100. I put it into a CD for 2 years and I'm getting about 1%. Hopefully, that's a good rate right now. In 1 year, I'm going to have $101. Are you satisfied with that? So is that the type of risk you want to take? What about in retirement? I want to put everything in CDs because I've accumulated this and I don't want to lose any of it, but I do need income. Well, are you willing to work off $1 a year? So how much risk should I take? Should I get rid of all of it and conserve and preserve everything I have? Or should I actually take the opportunity to get the return that I need? And what do I need to get the return? It all comes down, it's not a cookie cutter. What I need, what Jim needs, what you need is different. Why am I saying this? Take the time. It might be 30 minutes. Just take the time and spell out what you need to someone who can listen to you and see it from a different perspective.
Sounds like a great idea. I like that. I like your words of wisdom. Making Sense of Investing, financial advisor Andrew Tisdale with Edward Jones. You'll find him at 173 Railroad Avenue, the busy section over there near the Food Lion store. You can call him at 287-9197, andrew.tisdale@edwardjones.com.
Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure to have you here in the Blue Room. Now will you escort Mr. Chamber of Commerce in here, please?
Oh, my pleasure.
Escort him in here, please.
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Chamber of Commerce is coming up here in just a moment.
Easter is fast approaching, and if you haven't visited Burnt Chimney Gifts and Decor, well, don't waste another second. They have some of the most gorgeous spring wreaths, handmade local unique jewelry, reloved furniture pieces, wooden plaques, ceramics, handcrafted pieces, mostly from local artists. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 until 6. That's Burnt Chimney Gifts and Decor, 483 South Broadway in Forest City. Shop local, shop our local businesses. And Burnt Chimney will be making an announcement soon. They're moving. So stay tuned for details for the next few weeks.
2 high school football games this week. One Thursday night, Bessemer City at Thomas Jefferson. That's a 6 o'clock airtime, 6:30 kickoff. And then on Friday night, Chase is at RS Central. We'll have that game for you as well, 6:30 countdown, 7 o'clock kickoff. Now on Thursday night also, East is playing at East Gaston. And so that's 2 Thursday night games and a Friday night game. We'll have both of those on, Bessemer City and Thomas Jefferson on Thursday night, Chase and RS Central on Friday night. And the Braves start their season April 1st. And that is not an April Fool's joke. That is for real, unless somebody gets major sick between now and then.
We have some exciting news. The popular Dragon Palace is now open for dine-in business. If you've missed their delicious buffet of fried rice, chicken, pork, beef, egg rolls, seafood, desserts, and more, you can dine in 7 days a week. Hours are Sunday through Thursday, 11 till 9, Friday and Saturday, 11 till 9:30. That's the Dragon Palace, Chinese cuisine at its best. 115 Ryan Drive in Forest City, or give them a call at 828-287-5707.
It's always a pleasure. By the way, we'll have the Sheriff's Report in just a few moments with Sheriff Chris Francis. It's always a pleasure to have Mr. Chamber of Commerce, Clark Poole, in the Blue Room with me to talk about some exciting things about the county and some things we can get involved with. And I'd like to welcome him right now to the Blue Room microphone. Mr. Chamber of Commerce, Clark Poole, good morning.
Good morning, Jim, and good morning to all you listeners. And you may get tired of hearing me, but I want you to take a little trip with me, if you would. I'm appreciative of the leaders in our municipalities, our county commissioners, and all of those people who have provided TDA, that have provided funds for the project that I want to talk about. Most of us get out every day, and I want you to take a little trip with me. What do you see on the sides of the roads as you go to work or to church or to the playground or to the ball field or just out for a Sunday afternoon ride? Trash. We like to politely call it litter, but it's trash. So we've decided that April is going to be a spring cleaning month, and very thankful to the Rutherford County, North Carolina Beautiful organization. Let's keep North Carolina and Rutherford County particularly beautiful. We need to have pride in our county, and when you see trash on either side of the road, it kind of lessens how you feel about who we are. We have such a beautiful place. People visit us and we get to live here, and they're just in awe of our natural beauty and our assets. There's 68,000 people in Rutherford County, and they call this home. Of that 68,000, we probably ought to take out the 0 to 19 age, but we have 47,000 people that could pick up some trash in April. Now, what the committee has done is this. Through the efforts of the Department of Transportation, TDA, of financing, and the municipalities, they're going to provide the bags, the equipment, and all that you need to pick up trash. You don't even have to carry it somewhere and put it in your truck. You just leave it on the side of the road. So, today and tomorrow, as you're riding to work or play or the ball field or whatever it is that you're doing in your car, look on either side of the road. Pick a road and say, I'm going to clean up this trash. Form a team. Call the people in your Sunday school class and say, let's have a team and let's go pick a road. And you need to do this number for me. Write it down, please. 447-2458. That's Jess. Jess, she will tell you what's going to take place and where to get the bags, where to get the gloves, do all those things. So let's clean up Rutherford County. Let's have pride in our county. A lot of people come here and say, gosh, how wonderful it is to be able to live in such a place. We do have a beautiful county. Let's match what our county looks like. Help us this month. Don't do it one and done. Form your team, a 2-man team, a 4-man team, pick a road. Call Jess and say, we want to clean up Whiteside. Call Jess and say, we want to clean up in front of our church as we go there. As we prepare to worship on Sunday morning and see the trash on the side of the road, we want to pick it up before we go and worship. When we go to work, we want our workplace to be as nice, and going to that trip, be good about it. You know, folks, respect is a marvelous thing to be able to have as a quality of life. I hope we do respect one another. Lastly, this is something I think is really important. I stayed in the summertime with my great-grandfather and his farm, and sometimes he would say, come on, son, we're going somewhere, and it'd be 6 o'clock in the morning. But we'd go to somebody's farm who was sick, and there'd be a group of men come and plow the field for him, getting his crops ready, or whatever needed to take place. That was called community effort and respecting one another and having pride in what we do. Do you have pride in where you live? Do you have respect for your neighbor? The respect and the pride that we share and show each other, and we show our beautiful county, will go a long way. So, April cleanup. It's not April Fool's. The whole month of April, we're going to clean up Rutherford County, but we need you as an army to do that. 47,000 of you can clean up these thousands of miles of road this month. Don't make it one and done. We're going to make sure that you have the equipment to get it done. Then you just leave the little orange bag on the side of the road, and they'll pick it up for you. Do it once a week in April. Pick a road. Call Jess, 447-2458. She'll give you the equipment. She'll tell you where to get it. She'll tell you how to do it. It's going to be easy, and you can be proud to live in Rutherford County. Thank you, Jim.
Well, I was thinking about that, this being Easter week, even though April starts Wednesday week, they could pick that starting even now and get ready for Easter Sunday, because a lot of folks having early sunrise services, and as the sun breaks and all that trash laying out on the roadway, it's amazing. You can start right now and clean up the area.
4 or 5 of us could do a half a mile in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But there's 4 weeks in April, and you're exactly right. We've got 4 days before our Easter sunrise service. Call Jess. What is Jess's number? 447-2458. Jess, we need some equipment.
Yeah.
Let's clean it up.
Yeah, all right. Anything else going on?
There's a whole lot of things going on right now. We're having all kinds of vaccinations, and we're getting out of this dreadful COVID situation, and I think it's great that people's attitudes are beginning to feel a little brighter, and people are a little more energetic, and we're having some semblance of football, and we've made some playoffs, and we're getting ready for the Braves to start, and we're looking forward to vacation, and I hope we're looking forward to spring cleaning. I hope we clean up the trash that litters our roads. And how about you? What's going on with you?
Well, we're excited about the things that we're beginning to see things open up as well.
And guess what? There are a lot of great things coming to this county, and there are a lot of new businesses and existing businesses that have struggled through but are making it and are excited about it. And most of it, if not all of it, was because you believed. And people who come together and believe and know that they can get through any crisis will make it to the other side. You know, that's great.
I'm anxious to make some announcements of some of the exciting things coming up.
Well, I am more anxious than you are to announce them. And as soon as, you'll be seeing those things. How about Starbucks being up so quickly?
Well, that was a fast
every time you drive by, there's something else going on. You're going to see some other things coming up along the way, and but I tell you what I'm most proud of. That guy who's been in business for 40 years and had 20 employees and didn't know how he was going to make it because everything was shut down in his restaurant. And he said, some way, somehow, I'm going to take care of those 20 people who gave of themselves all these years for me. Out of his mouth, we will make it. And he's making it in spite of all the obstacles that are thrown at him. That's pride and that's respect for who you are. And so that's what's coming in Rutherford County.
Mr. Chamber of Commerce, Clarksville, it's always a pleasure seeing you. Always a pleasure having you in the Blue Room on my show. Anytime you're You're welcome always to come by.
I appreciate that. I'll probably aggravate you some more because I believe in what we do.
Well, with the exciting things happening this spring and summer here in Rutherford County, we're excited to have you come back and make some of those announcements.
Thank you.
And cheer us on. Yay, yay, Rutherford County.
There you go.
Here now is the Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Chris Francis, recorded earlier for broadcast at this time. Sheriff?
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 164 calls for service. There have been 9 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 139. Among those arrested, Andrew Jacob Powell, 34-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Brandon Scott Williams, 29-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with driving while license revoked and fictitious tag, received a $1,000 secured bond. Alex Arnold Owens, 21-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with injury to property and received a $1,000 unsecured bond. Morgan Elizabeth Bostic, 22-year-old female out of Mooresboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Among our incidents, we had damage to property on Boston Sunshine Road. Someone had kicked the victim's door of his passenger door of his Ford Focus, causing damage in the amount of $450 because of the dent. We also had a larceny on Short Road in Ellenboro where a black and yellow Pittsburgh Steelers football team logoed mailbox and post were taken, valued at $150. And we had a breaking and entering and larceny to an outbuilding on US 64 in Robeson where a 7-inch Craftsman side grinder, a 4.5-inch DeWalt side grinder, a handheld Hibachi planter, a Harley-Davidson battery charger, as well as a double-burner propane gas heater with cylinder, and a pass-load nail gun and engraving tool were all taken in that instant. We had a larceny of a dog on Rock Road in Robeson. A known suspect took the victim's pit bull and border collie mix, valued at $100 during an argument that they were having. And we had a B&E and larceny to a storage unit. It was on Boston Sunshine Highway where a left-handed recurve bow inside of a camo case valued at $150 was taken. And Jim, that's what we had to report.
The music's on us on WCAB.
Coming up just a few moments, an update on sports. Then we've got some stuff to talk about after 8:30 this morning. Just you and me. Nobody else listening, just you and me. We'll talk about some things you need to know about. 9:05 this morning is My Great America with Jim and Butch, live here in the Blue Room on WCAB.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Half of the NCAA tournament's Final Four have been filled out by teams who have not been there in a long time.
Dry spells shattered in the NCAA basketball tournament.
The Baylor Bears are back in the Final Four.
71 years. With a win over Arkansas on CBS, Houston snapped a 37-year stretch without a Final Four trip, outlasting Oregon State. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
The other team to reach the Final Four in the men's bracket was Baylor. Their drought was nearly twice as long as Houston's, 71 years, but it's over. The Bears down to Arkansas to advance, and one of those two teams, Houston and Baylor, will go even further as they are aligned to meet in the semifinals. The other semifinal will be determined tonight. The first game pits USC against overall top seed Gonzaga, followed by UCLA Michigan in the nightcap. Joey Logano took the checkered flag for NASCAR's first Cup Series race on a dirt track in 50 years. He got a jump on Denny Hamlin in the overtime restart to earn his third career victory at Bristol. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished second. He says he wishes the race was just a little longer. He could have won if that was the case.
I felt like if we had one more lap, I think we could have got him. Our car was that good on the long run, and it helped save our Goodyear tires. So everything was working really well, and hey, we came up one spot short.
Yesterday's race at Bristol was the circuit's first on a dirt track since 1970, when Richard Petty beat Neil Castles by 2 laps at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. On the ice, the Carolina Hurricanes look to extend their 3-game winning streak when they face off against the Blackhawks tonight in the first game of a back-to-back set in Chicago. This is NCN Sports.
Battery power made by Steel. From trimmers and mowers to chainsaws and blowers, Steel battery tools are exactly what you need to tackle your to-do list. Whether you need to maintain your yard or completely transform your landscape. Shop online for the Steel AK Homeowner Series starting at just $199.99. Pick up at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
Are you stuck inside but still looking for bargains on new and secondhand goods? Try highbid.com, the online auction site for just about anything. Highbid.com offers a safe and easy way to find hundreds of thousands of items for sale every day. From rare coins to fine jewelry, tools to vintage toys, and classic cars to real estate. Highbid.com has it all. Highbid.com makes it easy to find what you're looking for, and the site is simple to use. Highbid.com. That's HIBID.com. And start discovering great deals today.
Baseball's opening day is Thursday, and MLB's COVID protocols are reportedly loosening up.
Major leaguers may be able to enjoy card games and carpools again. Masks would be dropped from dugouts and bullpens. Outdoor socializing would be okay, and electronic tracing devices would be dropped when 85% of the players have been vaccinated. The Associated Press reports that MLB is strongly encouraging all players to get the vaccine when they're eligible. Some teams say their players will be offered it before opening day. Peter King, CBS News.
The NBA has scheduled this year's draft for July 29th, though it has yet to announce the location for the event. The draft combine is scheduled for June 21st through 27th, and the lottery will be held June 22nd. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We're tracking another cold front that's going to move in and bring us the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late Wednesday into Thursday. Otherwise, we are going to see lovely conditions for today, and it's going to be a pleasant spring-like afternoon with highs heading into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Overnight, we'll fall into the mid-50s with temperatures in the upper 60s and mid-70s tomorrow. Expect clearing by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Well, it's warming up nicely. We're up to 41 now. Started out at 38, jumped up already to 41, but we're climbing up the thermometer scale to 68 today. 68 will be our high, and beautiful, beautiful weather here in the foothills. And the sun will dry some of the mud puddles up and maybe drop the grass enough that we can cut it maybe today. I cut a little bit on Saturday. Didn't get all done before the rain shower came back in, but it'll be there when I get back to it, I'm sure. We got some stuff to talk about from news from here and there this morning coming up right after this.
Celebrate greater at Carolina West Wireless. Greater deals, greater savings, and greater ways to stay connected. Like $350 off the new iPhone 12. Love the device you already own? Bring it in when you switch and save $150. Plus, get 4 lines with unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. All on our powerful nationwide high-speed network. Stop by Carolina West Wireless and celebrate greater today. Carolina West Wireless. Go stay connected. Certain restrictions or conditions may apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
Some of the stories we're looking at this morning came to us via email the other day. Someone who I will not call her name. She said it'd be all right, but I'll hold her off right now. But she sent me a note saying she was extremely curious. They were coming down Green Street to Kiwanis Park, and as soon as they turned onto Green Street, they saw a streak across the sky, mysterious blue fireball. It looked like it landed in the Spindale Forest City area. She said, never in all my days have I seen anything like this. I went home and Googled it. I haven't found anyone that confirmed it here, but there have been several accounts all week last week from Pennsylvania to Florida. In fact, there's a YouTube video of doorbell cam footage from several homes in Pennsylvania on Monday. And she says, as I'm typing this, another friend of hers from from a company we won't mention just messaged me. She saw it too. And Brenda Kelly, of course, said her grandson saw it also the other night. And this lady who sent this to be attached a photo of what it looked like to her. The photo was from a sighting in Australia last year, but it exactly what she saw. Started out small, but as it streaked across the sky, it became large with a streaking tail. It was blue in color that changed to bright white. Then, as it appeared to drop down in Spindale Forest, a large burst of orange. Incredible. So if any of you saw that, happened to see that and could witness that. So we've had 3 reports of having seen it here locally. If you saw it, give us a call. Let us know where you saw it from, and we'd like to report that as well. Well, there is a reward now that's prompting the leads into the horses killing. The reward offered for information about the shooting death of a beloved horse has generated promising leads that suggest the killer was a juvenile. Investigator Tony Wineski of Poacher Strike Force said, we feel strongly it's neighborhood kids. Around the time of the incident, someone had been firing a weapon. Help Asheville Bears and Poacher Strike Force jointly offered a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of that shooter. Since the offer, investigators have received calls, 2 that included identical information about the incident. Those calls have occurred within the last 48 hours, according to Wineski. Investigators are following up on reports of suspicious activity. Inspector Wineski said it's obvious the shooter had both familiarity with the area and the horse. He also suggested the shooting could have been the result of a prank, a dare, or kids feeling sense of entitlement. He dismissed the notion of a cult or demonic rituals behind the shooting. He said it doesn't have that flavor. He also indicated that similar shootings occurred in the area previously, including as long as a year ago. Those cases involved youths armed with rifles. Plans call PSF investigators to follow up on the leads with the goal of identifying the shooter. The horse, a 21-year-old quarter horse named Blackjack, was killed at Robert Hill's family farm at 759 Airwood Road during the early morning hours on Monday, March 22nd. PSF officially began its investigation work in January following months of planning. The organization has 5 investigators across North Carolina that probe instances of animal poaching, harming, and killing. Investigators consist of former wildlife officers, military, and law enforcement. PSR operates all for donations and perhaps funding. If you have any information on the killing of Blackjack, you're urged to call the Poacher Strike Force tip line at 877-773-8477 or contact Sheriff's Office, and they'll be glad to know about it. Well, state education leaders are teaming up with the North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program to help sound the alarm about speeding, one of the leading causes of death in children and a major cause of death for young adults. Mark Ezel, the Governor's Highway Safety Director, said speeding repeatedly tops the list of central causes of preventable roadway deaths, especially among young adults. Starting today until April 4th, the Speed a Little, Lose a Lot campaign will feature increased law enforcement patrols from agencies across the state working to prevent speeding. So starting today through until April 4th, the Speed a Little, Lose a Lot campaign is underway. A report released Monday by NCDOT data analysis indicate that from 2019 to 2020, there was an increase of 11% in speed-related crash fatalities. Young people ages 20 to 29 are most at risk. From 2016 to 2020, males made up 75% of these fatalities. In 2020 alone, there were 416 speed-related deaths and 18,332 speed-related crashes. Speeding was a contributing factor in 25% of all fatal crashes. 91% of speed-related fatalities occurred on non-interstate roads. The remainder were on interstates. A crash on a road with a speed limit of 65 miles per hour or greater is more than twice as likely to result in a fatality than a crash on a road with a speed limit of 45 or 50, and nearly 5 times as likely as a crash on a road with a speed limit of 40. Between midnight and 3 a.m., 68% of speeding drivers involved in fatal crashes had been drinking. North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety is sharing a series of online videos with educational institutions to use inside and outside the classroom. So be aware of that as you're traveling this week, and understand that there are many traffic deaths on the highway because of not paying attention, texting while driving too fast, driving in conditions are not good, all kinds of reasons that you become distracted. So make it a priority to arrive safely. Well, as many people will celebrate Easter this weekend, experts are advising pet owners to be mindful of special hazards that can come with the season. Traditionally, Easter lily plants can be hazardous to the health of cats and dogs. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, this is particularly concerning for cats. Easter lilies are poisonous. The association experts say exposure to any parts of the lily plant could result in kidney injury and gastrointestinal upset. Easter lilies should be kept up and away from your animals. According to Karen Parker, director of Heart of the Foothills Animal Rescue in Rutherford, lilies are beautiful, just be sure to keep them out of the reach. Experts say ingesting just a few leaves of lily plants can cause severe kidney failure. Chocolate, especially darker chocolate, is also dangerous for pets. Veterinarians say absolutely do not give your dogs and cats chocolate. We should be aware of that year-round. ASPCA says most harmful animal exposure to chocolate occur around the 4 holidays of Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, and Halloween. Not all chocolate is created equally, they say. The darker the chocolate, the more dangerous it is for pets. During Easter and throughout the spring season, experts also warn people who garden and work in the yards to keep fertilizers and herbicides away from their pets. They should be kept indoors when using these products. That was a report from Scott Carpenter in the Daily Courier. Well, the lines formed early at McNair Field in Forest City Monday morning as people were eager to receive a COVID-19 vaccination. The event was scheduled to begin at 9 o'clock, but many showed up at 8 o'clock, according to the Foothills Health Director, Karen Powell. This caused some early delays. By noon, 1,033 vaccines had been administered. Monday's COVID-19 update included reports of 17 new cases in Rutherford County. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services reported additional cases, which brings the county's cumulative total to 6,942. So things are beginning to level off a little bit. Folks are lining up to get those vaccines, and there was a big crowd yesterday. Other news, Scott Carpenter's writing from the Daily Courier. Darla Henderson is passionate about fresh, locally produced food, and she's the new president of Rutherford Barn. And Henderson will channel that passion as the manager of the Rutherford County Farmers Market. Having grown up in the Gilligan area, Henderson spent a portion of her professional life in New York working with nonprofit organizations, but she moved back to Rutherford County in 2004, where she lives with her husband and son, and she will be the new manager of the Farmers Market in Forest City. 8:39 and beautiful day shaping up. You know, I don't always have a lot of confidence in these Hollywood stars and these celebrities that think they know everything there is to know about you and me and tell us how we should live our lives, when most of all the things they do is pretend to be somebody else. Actors, they pretend to be somebody else and they're never themselves, and yet they tell us how we should live. But this lady I'm taking exception to because she sort of hit it on the head. She's actress Sharon Stone. You know her from several good movies that she was on. But she said the council culture is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. People are afraid of sentences. Actress Sharon Stone, who campaigned for Biden-Harris presidential ticket in 2020, says today's council culture, where people are afraid of sentences, is the stupidest thing she's ever seen. Now, she ought to learn a lesson from that. Her people that she campaigned for, Biden and Harris, are some of the ones leading this council culture. Now she's saying it's the stupidest thing she's ever heard of. Yes, she helped them get elected. In an interview on the Sirius XM radio show Thursday, Stone was asked for her take on the current tenor of council culture and how people are afraid to have real conversations. In her answer condemning council culture, Sharon Stone said that exploring different opinions is an excellent way for people to learn, grow, and develop understanding. She goes on to say, I think council culture is the stupidest thing I've ever seen happen. I think when people say things that they feel and mean, and it's offensive to you, it's a brilliant opportunity for everyone to learn and grow and understand each other. Well, there's a lot of good validity to that. I'm saying toughen up your skin and don't let everything irritate you. If you're irritated by somebody's comment, toughen up. Put your big boy britches on and toughen up. We all come from different ages, she said, different cultures, different backgrounds, different things, and have had different experiences, different traumas, different upbringings, different parents, different religious backgrounds, different everything. Give people an opportunity to discuss things before you wipe out their entire person over a statement or comment or misunderstanding. Before you take down their history, remember, we're all from different backgrounds. Stop being so small. Grow up. The world is bigger, and people have done so much more than one sentence. Like, grow up, show some empathy. People are afraid of sentences, and put your big boy britches on. And get real, folks. Life's too short to go around canceling everything because you hurt my feelings. My feelings are hurt. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that. Speaking of getting your feelings hurt, boy, I tell you, this has really gotten folks in a bind. Well, not a bind, but because it hasn't happened yet, but just talking about it's got folks' blood pressure going up. Buttigieg, who is the transportation secretary for Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, he's indicated that he may push for a mileage tax on Americans that will require them to pay the government for traveling too much. For mileage tax on American drivers. The move would help pay for Biden's $3 trillion infrastructure bill and shows a lot of promise, he said. Now get this in mind, folks. What they want to do is charge you for your mileage, pay you a tax for your mileage. Now what are they going to do? Put a calculator on your odometer? How are they going to calculate that? They expect you to be honest and write it down in a logbook every month. Well, I traveled 474 miles last month, and I only meant to go 300, so I owe you. Come on, folks. Those folks just, I don't know which rock they crawl out from under. When asked by an NBC reporter, is he supported a mileage tax, Buttigieg said, I think that shows a lot of promise. If we believe in that so-called user pays principle, the idea that part of how we pay for roads is you pay based on how much you drive. The gas tax used to be the obvious way to do it. It's not anymore, he said. So a so-called vehicle miles traveled tax or a mileage tax, whatever you want to call it, should be the way to do it. I promise you, folks, I do not make this stuff up. It's out there in the real world, and they're running this country right now. They are running this country right now, and he is putting people in place like that. That's unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, have you heard the latest? It's not ordained by the Biden administration. It's ordained by Satan himself. Satanism embraced with a perverse new Satan shoes manufactured using human blood. It wasn't like the 24-year-old rapper Lil Nas X. And singer doesn't already qualify in the business. He holds the record for the longest time atop the Billboard Hot 100 single chart, 19 weeks, for his 2019 country rap song Old Town Road, according to the Associated Press. His new single is entitled Montero, Call Me By Your Name, purportedly a letter to his 14-year-old self. So to mark the occasion, he's releasing a limited set of sneakers that fully embraces Satanism, complete with a drop of human blood in them and an exclusive run of only 666 pairs. He even emblazoned a Bible verse on the sneakers that's supposed to look cool. You may want to read it again for context, however. If this all seems really strange for you, let me explain. Lil Nas X in 2019, when Old Town Road was at the top of the Billboard charts, this informed Montero, according to a tweet from Lil Nas X on March 26th. The title is a reference to his legal name, Montero Lamar Hill. Dear 14-year-old Montero, I wrote a song with our name in it. It's about a guy I met last summer, he wrote in the tweet. I know we promised to never come out publicly. I know we promised to never be that type of gay person. I know we promised to die with the secret, but this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist. He wrote that people will say I'm pushing an agenda with the song, but the truth is I am. The agenda to make people say the explicative word out of other people's lives and stop dictating who they should be. The song wasn't quite a positive letter to his 14-year-old self. Here's the pre-chorus. Here's the pre-chorus of that song that was a big hit for society. Cocaine and drinking with your friends. You live in the dark, boy, I cannot pretend. I'm not faced, only here to sin. At least that wasn't a music video, which involved him getting kicked out of heaven, going down to hell on a stripper pole, and giving a lap dance to Satan. That's about as much as I can describe without you having to put your kids in the back room or send them off somewhere. It's Milton's better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven idea, updated for the Cardi B generation. And that's where we get to the Satan shoes. According to the Post, the New York Post, Lil Nas X, I'm not sure even pronouncing his name right, Lil Nas X has partnered in their production with MSCHF, an edgy fashion company that makes a whole range of overpriced pseudo-situation garbage that's supposed to make some kind of culture point for rich hipsters who are have enough to drop $3,000 on shoes like Jesus shoes that contain water from the River Jordan in their soles, like walking on water, get it? Other products include a rubber chicken bong that squeaks whenever you inhale marijuana from it. Our perspective is everything is funny in a nihilistic sort of way. We're not here to make the world a better place. We're making light of how much everything sucks. Here's how terrible it is this week. And Nike is putting these shoes together called Satan shoes. Nike Air Max 97 contains 60 cc's of ink and 1 drop of human blood. 666 pairs, individually numbered. And the cost of them is $1,018. March 29th, 2021 is when they become available. The shoes were modified out of Nike Air Max 97s, complete with an added drop of human blood and a $1,018 price tag, and they come with a Bible verse on the side too. It's Luke 10:18. He replied, I saw Satan fall like a lightning from heaven. For the record, Nike itself disclaims any connection or partnership with this people. Nike did not release nor design these shoes, the company told the fact-check site Snoops in email. If you like Satan iconography and don't read the Bible, this sounds really cool. Well, it's not. Luke 10 is a chapter in which Jesus sends out 70 or 72, depending on your translation, disciples to the towns in which he was about to go to prepare these places ahead of him. The one who hears you hears me, and the one who rejects you rejects me, and the one who rejects me rejects him who sent me, Jesus told his disciples in verse 16. Verse 17 and 8 through 20, 17 through 20, the 72 returned with joy, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. And Jesus said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. Nevertheless, do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. But we have folks putting Satan's shoes out there, and we have folks willing to buy them. Go figure. I'll be back in just a moment. It's 8:49. You know, there is a lot of misleading information about Medicaid eligibility. The Arledge Law Firm would like for you to know the truth. For instance, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your home. That's not true. Another one is, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. Again, not true. And this big one, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. Not true, not true, not true. Call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm and get free consultation and learn the truth. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify for nursing home care and not lose everything you own. It's worth a call to Arledge Law Firm at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherford.
Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket.
WCAB.
8:51, My Great America with Jimmy Butch coming in at 9:05 this morning. Be sure to hang around, keep that dial set right where it is. 100.9 FM or 590 AM, and the delightful program on My Great America. Hey, well, Asheville's still at it. You know, they're still up there with their liberal philosophy and liberal politics. The Asheville City Council voted last week to remove the Vance Monument from its spot in the city's main public space, taking away the 65-foot monument, which has stood in what is now called Pack Square since how long? Since 1898. And it hasn't offended anybody until just recently. And all of a sudden, it offends people. It offends people. The final vote was 6-1, with Councilwoman Sandra Kilgore casting the lone dissenting vote. The monument is named for Zebulon Vance, North Carolina's governor during the Civil War, and U.S. Senator during Reconstruction until his death in 1894. So it offends folks, so they voted to take it down after it had been standing there since 1898. They have taken down plaque Confederate with the likeness of Confederate General Robert E. Lee and a memorial to Confederate soldiers. They've taken all that down. They want us to forget our past, so possibly we'll repeat it again. You repeat your past when you don't remember what your past was. Well, I know things are beginning to open up wide here in western North Carolina. Things are beginning to get back to some semi-normality. How do I know that things are opening up a little bit? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the Western North Carolina Bigfoot Festival is coming back in September to downtown Marion. After a hiatus in 2020 because of the COVID-19, Bigfoot Festival was canceled last year, but they're bringing it back this year. Held in 2018 and 2019, the local celebration of the alleged half-human, half-ape hairy creature has become Marion's biggest event and has drawn tens of thousands of people to the downtown. They have come from all over the United States and some foreign countries for the event. The Western North Carolina Bigfoot Festival has also been featured on national news media like CNN and National Public Radio. But last year, the Bigfoot Festival and all the other outdoor events in Marion were canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now that restrictions are loosening, organizers are making plans for the Bigfoot Festival in Marion 2021. John Bruner with Bigfoot 911 told the McDowell News that the 2021 Western North Carolina Bigfoot Festival will be held Friday, September the 17th and Saturday, September the 18th. The festivities for Friday, September the 17th will kick off at 3 o'clock with an educational expo at the Marion Community Building. The expo is scheduled to last until 8 p.m. and nationally it will focus on the unexplained phenomenon of half-man, half-ape creature that supposedly lurks in the woods and wild regions of North America. So they're going to have the Bigfoot Festival in Marion this year. So, folks, I know things are opening up and getting back to normal. Let's just hope things open up here and Ellenboro can have their fair this year and Forest City can have a full car show and all the other events, and Rutherford can have their fall festival or Mayfest or whatever, or both, and Spindale can get reorganized with their new reconstruction out there. It's going to be great. Anyway, the Western North Carolina Bigfoot Festival will kick off at 10 o'clock on Saturday and run till 6 p.m. on Saturday. So there you go, folks. When the Bigfoot Festival opens up, you know things are getting back to normal again, right? We need to have some kind of a festival. We can have what kind of festival could we have here with? I don't know. Maybe let's see. We have the Cherry Bounce Trail Festival. It tied in with some things, and Rutherford County is known for its moonshine trails. So I guess we could expand that a little bit. Have a moonshine day. I don't know. Just thinking out loud here. It's 8:54. I'm going to take a little break here, get out of here and clear my voice and get ready for My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up straight ahead. It is Tuesday. It's a beautiful day, and I love America, and I know that you do too. So let's find out what we're going to talk about this morning in My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up.
Here's my story. It's sad but true. WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Testimony begins shortly in the second day of Derek Chauvin's murder trial in Minneapolis.
Day 2 will pick up where we left off at the end of Day 1. Donald Williams will continue his testimony. He witnessed the encounter between police and George Floyd and said he saw Floyd start to lose consciousness.
The more you see Floyd fade away and slowly fade away, and like the fish in the bag, you've seen his eyes slowly, pale out and again slowly roll to the back of his eyes.
Williams could be heard on that viral video of the incident calling for police to get off of Floyd. Mark Remillard, ABC News, Minneapolis.
The defense tried to argue that the crowd that had gathered and videotaped the incident in Minneapolis had something to do with it. ABC News chief legal correspondent Dan Abrams.
They seem to be suggesting that Derek Chauvin may have been distracted at the time that he had his knee on George Floyd. And I think that's a tough legal argument to make, that somehow something might have gone wrong because he was distracted. George Floyd might have been killed because he was distracted.
A warning from the head of the CDC, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, who says she feels impending doom when it comes to COVID.
We have so much to look forward to, so much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now, I'm scared.
ABC's Eva Pilgrim has more.
Despite all the people getting vaccines, the U.S. averaging more than 60,000 cases every day, hospitalizations up more than 10% across 17 states in the last week, and the number of deaths is rising too. The CDC director warning of another surge.
The Biden administration opening more mass vaccination sites and adding 20,000 more pharmacies to the places where people can get a shot. In Germany, Berlin is once again suspending the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine for people under 60 due to additional reports of blood clots. You're listening to ABC News.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute blinks for you to read or listen to. With Blinkist, you can learn the main points of an entire book in just 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks.
What kind of books?
Nonfiction books in over 27 categories, from personal development to history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Workweek, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. Blinkist makes it easy to learn about pretty much anything.
Like the stars?
Even the stars.
Right now, radio listeners get 25% off, plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/grow. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/grow. That's BLINKIST.com/GROW.
President Biden announcing 11 judicial nominees in what the White House calls a trailblazing slate. The list includes candidates who have served as prosecutors, public defenders, and in the military. It's also a diverse list with candidates who are Black, Muslim, and Asian Americans. Under investigation now in New York City, an attack on an elderly Asian American woman. ABC's Brian Clark.
Surveillance video shows a woman walking down a Manhattan street when she is suddenly accosted by a man who kicks her to the ground and then repeatedly kicks her in the head. The NYPD says the man made anti-Asian statements during what it calls a hate crime assault incident. Paramedics took the 65-year-old victim, who suffered what authorities called a serious physical injury, to NYU Langone, where she is in stable condition. The owner of the building where the assault happened said it suspended staff who witnessed the attack and are seen on video not intervening or offering aid. Brian Clark, ABC News, New York.
Now that the big cargo ship that blocked the Suez Canal for nearly a week has been moved, the race is on to deal with a backlog. Dozens of ships moving through the canal already. Experts, though, say it will likely take 3 days to get all the waiting ships through. And the 145th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show is on the move. After being canceled last year by the pandemic, this year the show is heading out of New York City and outside so fans can attend. It will be held in June at the Lyndhurst Estate in Tarrytown, New York. This is ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
This is Gilbert. If you owe the IRS past due taxes, don't call those toll-free national numbers. Local, affordable help is right here in Rutherford County. Stop garnishments, levies, and liens. Call Gilbert Carmona at 828-289-9300. All initial consultations are free. Call Gilbert, 828-289-9300.
We're tracking another cold front that's going to move in and bring us the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late Wednesday into Thursday. Otherwise, we are going to see lovely conditions for today, and it's going to be a pleasant spring-like afternoon with highs heading into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Overnight, we'll fall into the mid-50s with temperatures in the upper 60s and mid-70s tomorrow. Expect clearing by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
If you're just waking up, look out the window. It is a beautiful day to wake up. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, and 45 degrees right now, warming up to about 68, and sunny skies throughout today. Now looking toward Easter Sunday morning, mostly sunny with highs around 70 and light wind Easter Sunday morning. It's a great getting up morning, so rise and shine.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
Well, good morning, Butch.
Hello, Jim. You know, I loved listening to you and Clark Poole, another dear friend, interact about some of the positive things that are happening in the county. You two together are like a Rutherford County marketing mafia. When the two of you talk, it just is so encouraging. There are many good things that are happening in the county, and of course, we make a decision every day. I love at our church, one of the things that we're told is God's got a plan and the devil's got a plan, and we get to choose every day. And one of the things we get to choose is our attitude, don't we? It's one of the things I loved about you from the very beginning is that you just had a spirit of being positive and upbeat. And
But like you said, we have that choice each morning to either down in the dumps or recognize that God does wonderful things for us in our lives, and it's another day that God has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I choose to do that.
I love that. You know, I used to be an AWANA. Have you ever heard of that before? AWANA stands for Approved Workmen Are Not Ashamed, 2 Timothy 2:15. And I loved it because we memorized Bible verses. But, you know, I look back now, I memorized them for the wrong reason, because the more you memorize, the more patches you got on your uniform. And I loved it. I looked like a little general. I had all these patches from all the memorizations. But, you know, God's words become so precious to me in these days where he's been working in my heart. And our verse this morning is one that we all need to take to heart. It's Ephesians 6:10. Let me put on my glasses. You know, if you ever see that I'm struggling, just point and say, Butch, your glasses are right there. There we go. Ephesians 6:10. In conclusion, be strong in the Lord, draw your strength from him, and be empowered through your union with him and in the power of his boundless might. Whenever we're feeling overwhelmed, we need to make sure we go to Jesus. It's there we're going to find the hope and the help and the security that we need. And what a gloriously beautiful day. And I was reminded when I lived up in Northern Virginia, this is around the time where you get into the cherry blossoms coming out. Yeah. And there's a little bit of history there. And the history is this. Cherry blossom viewing was first introduced to the United States in 1912 when Mayor Yukio Ozaki of Tokyo gifted 100 cherry blossom trees to Washington, D.C. So that was back in 1912. And over time, this Hanami culture spread across America. Now, every year from late March until early April, Washington holds a national cherry blossom festival. So the Japanese gave us two things. They gave us those cherry blossoms. You know what else they gave us?
What?
Kudzu.
Yes.
That's a whole different story that we'll get into at some point.
Right.
So we have a guest this morning.
We do. Bryson Smith, the new chairman of the Republican Party of Rutherford County, is on the phone. Let me pull him up.
Bryson, are you there?
Bryson, you're on the air with us live. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jim. I'm doing great. I hope you are.
Doing great. Butch is here with me in the Blue Room, and we're glad you stopped a moment from your work to be on the phone with us. What are you doing over there this morning? What kind of work
Well,
are you doing?
I just gave my concrete rake to my father and stepped away for a minute. We're pouring out concrete right now over here on the Dogwood Valley Golf Course.
You know what? That's a great. And by the way, you're at the Dogwood Valley Golf Course. That's over near Chase, right? In the Chase.
It is, yes, sir.
Yeah, and you were telling me this morning that you're forming and pouring, which is a great metaphor for the positive vision for the Republican Party going forward. Bryson, do you have your boots on?
I do, and they're covered in concrete right
You know
now,
what? We love people that are not just politicians, but people that do real work. And if you're not delivering a calf with your father, you're pouring concrete, and there's something fundamentally American about that. So Jim and I were talking, just paint kind of a picture of the Republican Party going forward. And, of course, you two are storied veterans when it comes to that. So I'm going to step back and let the two of you talk for a bit.
What is the future of the Republican Party in Rutherford County, Bryson, as you see it?
Well, like what I said at the convention, the party is similar to pouring concrete. You first have to dig a foundation. You have to pour that foundation. And in order to do that, it takes hard work, and you do have to suit up and show up on time and early most of the time. So as far as the party moving forward, we want to make sure that we are not complacent because Rutherford County is so conservative. We are a stronghold of Republican conservative values, but in order for us to really progress and prevail against the opposite party, we must continually grow our presence. So moving forward, that is a vision of mine. It is utilizing our headquarters in a more powerful meaning and really bringing in the community in a way that we've never seen before, so that people know that we're not simply just a political group, but we are an active body of community members. And that is one of the very strongest missions that we are going to set moving forward.
Bryson, you're not as old as Butch and I am, but you're younger than we are, and you've been in politics a lot of years, though. What do you make of the transformation of the political climate in the county with so many folks that have left the other party and joined the Republican Party? Why is that, you think?
I believe it is a glorious sight, and a lot of folks are becoming aware that the Democrat Party has left them, and they no longer hold the values they hold. I had a very good conversation with a former chair of the Democrat Party just a week or so ago, and he told me he was an elderly gentleman, and he said he was gone for many years, came back, and went to a meeting, and he said he didn't recognize anyone. He said, "No, I didn't know anybody there." I said, "Well, that's because they all left you. All the people that you worked with for so many years, they're gone now. It's a whole different group. It's a cancel culture group. It's a completely opposite of the spectrum than what that gentleman saw, and more like that are becoming aware that the Republican Party holds the values that they hold so dear, and they're really, the blinders are coming off. So it's a miracle of God, and now we're the home for them, and that's what we want to do. Is we want to expand our base and let them know that they are our foundation. So it's very imperative that we reach out to folks like that.
Well said. I know you're anxious to get back to work and pouring that concrete, but let me ask you if I can. I know the Republican Party now is just kicking off a major fund drive, which is very, very sweet to the hearts of many people. That's the Vidalia Onions. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
So the Vidalia Onion fundraiser has been going on for many, many years, longer than I've been alive, and you may remember more of that, Jim, than I would. But this is our largest fundraiser of the year. 2 years ago, we sold somewhere around 6,000 pounds of onions. Even through the COVID-19 situation, we still sold somewhere around 3,500 or 4,000 pounds of onions. This year, I believe we will do far more than that. So it's very important for us, because this is what really sets a base for us to be able to send out those the voter guides that we send out every election year and things of that nature. So I encourage everyone to support that. And this is a unique fundraiser because you actually get something in return for your money. You actually get a product, in this case, produce. So and you can't get it any cheaper than at the Republican Party. So we encourage everybody to take part in that.
And, you know, one thing we're going to do is Bryson, we're actually going to solicit onion recipes here at WCAB. So we come up with some creative ideas on what you can do with those actually world-renowned Vidalia onions, so sweet onions. You know what? I love small towns where the headline in the Daily Courier was about a new manager at the farmer's market, and we're having a conversation about Vidalia onions.
It is great. Life's great.
It is.
I love America.
I love America, too.
It sure is.
And the cost of these Vidalia onions, tell us that.
I'm sorry, what?
The cost of the Vidalia onions, how much they cost?
Yes, so it is $10 for a 10-pound bag and $20 for a 25-pound box. It's a really good deal.
And every time you sit down to a meal and slice one of those Vidalia onions, you'll thank the Republican Party for having that fundraiser.
You sure will, and if I may add, Jim and Butch, you do not have to be a Republican to purchase these onions. We actually have a lot of Democrats that purchase them, and they love them, and they are repeat offenders. They come back every year for more onions.
So you're saying that you've got politically agnostic onions that are being sold. It doesn't matter what party you're in, but it goes to a good cause. And Bryson, we just, I was talking to somebody recently, a friend up in D.C., and I said to him, I believe we may be unique in the whole country in that our district has a congressman that's in his 20s and a county Republican leader who's in his 20s as well. So it certainly is a new chapter that's been turned over, and with prayer and thoughtful volunteer support, we're looking forward to the days ahead.
I as well, and I want to take this opportunity too. We meet every fourth Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. at our headquarters in downtown Rutherford, and just right below the courthouse. So it is open to everyone. Our doors are open 6 days a week from 9 to 5. Monday through Saturday, and it is always open. It is a revolving door. It's an opportunity for folks really just to come in. They can purchase goods that they would like, or even to come in and speak to the Vice Chair, Keith Hunter, or Mark Johnson, the Secretary, or Joyce Russell, Julie Napolitano. There's a whole group of folks that constantly man that office, and I cannot say thank you enough. And there may be some listening, so if you are, thank you so much for all of the volunteer work that all of you do to take part in our headquarters.
Bryson, we thank you very much for your time this morning. I know you have to get back to work. You're on payroll over there, so you got to get back to work. You get that concrete poured, but when you get it poured real smooth, reach over right in at WCAB in the edge of that concrete.
Well, my dad may fire me, Jim.
Just teasing, but we thank you so very much for being with us this morning on My Great America with Jim and Butch.
Thank you so much.
Our common representatives used to be. You know, we had farmers in the early days of our country. We had farmers, and we had people that were tradesmen and millers and bakers that would come to Washington. And it's not like the professional politicians where if you look at their resume, all you see is they've been in Congress. And when you ask the poignant question, what did you get done? You know, there's a silence that seems to happen there. It's just encouraging to see new blood, new fresh winds.
I agree with you. It is encouraging to see young folks involved, but also political leaders who know what's happening in the community. A reflection, although I support him very strongly, gave us an idea, an indication of how detached they were when George H.W. Bush went into a supermarket. He didn't know what the scanner was when he scanned the prices. He had never seen that before. And, of course, back in our days, you had to mark it in the cash register. And that was just an example of how far removed many of the politicians are. And they don't know what's happening on Main Street, USA.
Well, and that's one of the reasons, and you do this so well, that's one of the reasons why it's so important to get out there and really interact with people. And I've learned that it's so important to ask good questions and then actively listen. That's how you really are informed to be able to support people when it comes to a political standpoint. You know, Jim, I was thinking here recently, we talk a lot about the media, and I want to celebrate this morning the fact that there are some people that are in the media that are trying to be salt and light in a very dark and bland world. And I was so blessed to read about Fox News' Shannon Bream.
Yes.
You may have mentioned this already, but the report was given. Bream, anchor of Fox News at night, said she staved off the temptation to give in to negativity by relying on Scripture. In 2021, she told FaithWire she's found comfort in the words of Psalm 19:14, in which the psalmist wrote, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my God and my Redeemer." She said, I think even on the outside, if I'm saying the right words and I'm trying to communicate with people and communicate ideas, I have to think about the meditations of the heart too. What are my motives? So basically what she said is before she goes on the air, she invokes that prayer every time. So we want to not just curse the darkness. We want to make sure we point out that there are people that are righteous, that are trying to work out their salvation in fear and trembling in whatever setting they're in. And this took me back to history, and we reference history a lot because we want to make sure that we remember, so we don't want to forget, so that we don't repeat mistakes going forward. But I want to read something to you. This came from Charles Anderson Dana, 1819 to 1897. Let me read what he said. I believe in Christianity, that it is the religion taught to men by God himself in person on earth. I also believe the Bible to be a divine revelation. Christianity is not comparable with any other religion. It is the religion which came from God's own lips and therefore the only true religion. The incarnation is a fact, and Christianity is based on revealed truth. There are some books that are absolutely indispensable to the kind of education that we are contemplating and to the profession that we are now considering. And of all these, the most indispensable, the most useful, the one book whose knowledge is most effective is the Bible. There is no book from which more valuable lessons can be learned. I am considering it now as a manual of utility or professional preparation and a professional use for any journalist. There is no book whose style is more suggestive and more instructive, from which you can learn more directly the sublime simplicity which never exaggerates, which recounts with the greatest detail events with sublimity, of course, but without sentimentality or affection, none of which you open with such confidence and lay down with such reverence. There is no book like the Bible. You know who said that?
No.
You know who said that?
Abraham Lincoln?
No, that was said by Charles Anderson Dana. He was the editor-in-chief of the New York Sun, one of the largest newspapers in the country at the time.
Wow.
So we have come so far away and ripped away from the moorings of a Judeo-Christian tradition that made it very, very clear our country was founded on biblical principles. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights were germinated out of the crucible of biblical truth. And even people like one of the largest newspapers at the time, and he was perceived in those days as being the most brilliant journalist that the country had. He had that kind of truth, Jim, that was in him, that was coming out. So we wandered so far away from that.
And one of the reasons why that happened, one of the reasons that happened, because we accept it. We let it happen and never fight back and never say, hey, this is the wrong direction we need to go. Let's turn the carts around and head back toward the right again. We've accepted that fact. Just sit back and let it happen. That goes back to the onward Christian soldiers, I guess.
Right. And we become so fearful, and I find myself asking the question, what are people afraid of? Why do they lack courage? Why are we unwilling to step into, with love, into the fight? And people have all sorts of excuses. I'm tired. My voice doesn't make a difference, but it does make a difference, Jim, doesn't it?
It sure does. Every voice, every ounce. And it's been proven throughout history. We just had a compilation of all the time somebody said, you know, my voice don't make a difference, but they got involved and their voice did make a difference, and they changed the community, changed their city, changed their county because they believed in something.
Right, and of course, at my church, my community of faith, we often talk about John 5:30 and the importance of hearing God's voice. And when you know you're in God's will and you hear his voice, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. We are not guided in life by our feelings. We are not guided in life or shaped in our life by anything other than our convictions, which grow out of an understanding and a personal relationship with Jesus. And when you encounter people that have strong conviction, it's not something that's off-putting. It actually is something that I find very endearing, finding people who have conviction, because what we've done is we've entered into an age, and we've done it slowly, but it's clear what's happened, where we live in the gray, and people don't want to talk about black and white. They don't want to talk about eternal truth. I remember in graduate school at the University of Minnesota, in PhD work there, where a professor stood up and said, ethics are a product of context, which basically means you just make up your rules as you go. And this whole notion of, hey, you know what? If it's good for you, that's okay. It's not good for me. You know, if it's good for me and it's not good for you, that's okay. You know, we become self-defined arbiters of what truth is. And once you do that in the classroom, in the Capitol, in business, once you do that, you have opened the door for all kinds of demonic seductions. I mean, it's evil, it's dark, it's bad. And so when people ask the question, what can we do about the shootings that are taking place, we have to go back to the reality. These are not matters of politics. These are matters of the heart. Evil is real. And what contradicts or interdicts evil? Truth. And when we become a culture that's not interested in truth because we're fearful, we have set the stage for things that are unimaginable.
Yeah, I've said it many times on my morning show, these shootings and these deaths, it's not taking people's guns away from them that's going to stop it. It's a heart problem.
Right.
There's a darkness in there. These people got to fill it with something, and so they fill it with darkness. They fill it with Satan. They fill it with evil. And you can take all the guns out in the world, and with that, unless they get something bright in their hearts, they're going to be evil in the world anyway.
Well, and we know the only thing that will scour evil is the truth that God sent his son to this earth to save us, to create it was an infinite stoop. It was a condescension, fully God, fully human. Jesus came. He never sinned. His words were true. He gave us light and life if we will receive, if we believe and receive. And you know, it's not like an ATM machine. That's a different conversation that we'll have sometime, where you raise your hand and then you're saved. There's a lot of false doctrine that's out there about that. But you know, fear has really gripped so many people. And I was reminded, thinking of fear and how it keeps us from our convictions, of a story that John Maxwell tells. And we'll use this as we close today, if that's okay, Jim.
Sure.
A census taker was going into a rural area to finish the work in his territory. And of course, we've been in the middle of the census taking there. Driving down the country roads, he saw many houses with "Beware of Dogs" signs. At the gate of the last address on his list, he saw another "Beware of Dogs" sign as he entered a farmyard near a barn. Afraid to get out of his car, he honked his horn, and soon a man came out of the barn with a small chihuahua at his heels. When the census taker was done asking his questions and filling out his paperwork, he mentioned how many "Beware of Dogs" signs he'd seen and asked, Is this dog all the signs are about? Yep, sure is, the farmer replied, picking up the friendly dog. But that dog couldn't keep anyone away. I know, said the farmer, but the signs sure do. You know, the lesson here is that, and I think it's so poignant, the lesson is that fear is like a warning sign that makes us afraid of a dog that's not there. And God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and a sound mind. And as we're now on our 60-second program here, My Great America with Jim and Butch, one of the things we wanted to do is to make sure that we extend a radio broadcasting tradition that people like Paul Harvey and Rush Limbaugh have had, Jim, and in a quiet little simple way with those concentric circles showing the broadcast map for WCAB, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, with all the travails, the wind comes and we pray the tower stays there. You know, but I get to look out the back window where I live and see that red light on top of that tower facing there, and I think to myself, if we can be good stewards of the moments that God gives us every Tuesday and Thursday, perhaps we can kindle a fire in people so that they will go out and do what they can to make Rutherford County the place God intends it to be, and that's our hope and our prayer, isn't it?
Absolutely is. We want to say hello to all those folks watching on the web too, whoever they are, all around the world. to catch our program on Tuesdays and Thursdays. In addition, those who tune in on 100.9 FM, 590 AM.
Right, and we just want to be honest brokers of truth and share openly from our heart. And as we do that, our hope and our prayer is that you will find encouragement for whatever it is that God has for you today.
Amen. God bless America.
God bless America.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.